Hello Insightrove family. Today we bring you the inspiring story of General Bipin Rawat, a legend in India's defense history. Bipin Rawat's name echoes not just as a military leader, but as a man of immense humility, integrity, and love for his country and people. Behind the medals and accolades was a son, a father, a husband, and a leader who always put the needs of others first. But actually, what made him the man he was? Born on March 16, 1958, in the serene hills of Pauri, Uttarakhand, Bipin Rawat's life was steeped in tradition and service. His father, Lakshman Singh Rawat, was a respected lieutenant general in the Indian Army, and from a young age, Bipin was drawn to this life of dedication. At the National Defence Academy and later at the Indian Military Academy, where he earned the prestigious Sword of Honour, Rawat didn't just shine because of his tactical brilliance, but because of his character. He was the cadet who would lend a hand when others struggled and would quietly push forward in the face of adversity, earning respect not just through commands but compassion. Throughout his military career, Bipin Rawat was known not only for his tactical expertise, but for his ability to connect with the man under his command. When stationed in the treacherous terrains of Jammu and Kashmir and the northeast, Rawat wasn't just a commander. He was a confidant to the soldiers who served under him. He was often seen sitting beside wounded soldiers, offering words of encouragement and sharing simple meals with his troops in remote and harsh conditions. General Rawat understood that leadership wasn't just about giving orders. Rather, it was about understanding the fears, hopes, and dreams of those who looked up to him. His soldiers recall him not just as a distant figure, but as someone who remembered names, family stories, and who would personally check on their well-being. His success in counter-insurgency operations came not just from strategy, but from his deep belief in the people he served with. When Bipin Rawat became the Chief of Army Staff in 2016, he was stepping into a role that demanded even more than strategic expertise. As India dealt with the aftermath of the Uri attack, Rawat's leadership was tested. But instead of focusing on just retaliation, he reminded his forces that discipline, patience, and clarity were the cornerstone of any strong military response. His decision to lead the surgical strikes was celebrated, but Rawat never glorified wars. To him, these actions were about preserving peace and protecting innocent lives. Despite the intense pressure of his role, he would always make time for the families of soldiers, visiting the homes of martyrs and ensuring that they knew they were never forgotten. He was not just a military man. He was a father figure to many, constantly looking out for the well-being of his troops both on and off the battlefield. In year 2019, when Bipin Rawat was appointed as India's first Chief of Defence Staff, CDS, it was a historic moment. Yet, even in the spotlight of such a groundbreaking role, Rawat remained the same humble, grounded man he had always been. He often shied away from public praise, choosing instead to focus on the job at hand. He used his position to push forward reforms that would benefit not just the military but the people of India. He spoke often about the future of India's armed forces, but he never lost sight of the individual soldier, the young man and woman who risked everything for their country. His leadership was a blend of strength and compassion, as he worked tirelessly to modernize India's defense forces while ensuring that the human element was never lost. Beyond his military achievements, General Rawat was deeply invested in humanitarian efforts. Whether it was coordinating disaster relief efforts during natural calamities or ensuring that military resources were used to help civilians in crisis, Rawat was always on the front lines of humanitarian missions. He understood that soldiers were not just warriors but protectors of the people, and he took pride in the fact that the Indian Army was as much a force for peace as it was for defense. From providing medical assistance in remote regions to ensuring that orphaned children from conflict zones had access to education, his reach extended far beyond the battlefield. When the news of Bipin Rawat's tragic helicopter crash spread on December 8, 2021, the entire nation paused in grief. His passing, along with that of his wife Madhulika Rawat and several others, was a loss that felt deeply personal to millions. India had not just lost a decorated military leader, it had lost a man whose life embodied service, sacrifice, and humanity. His soldiers, colleagues, and friends remember him as a man of few words but great actions, a leader who led not by authority but by example. His legacy lives on, not just in military strategies or reforms, but in the hearts of those he touched through his empathy, humility, and unwavering dedication. Bipin Rawat's life was a testament to the idea that true leadership comes from compassion. His ability to blend strength with humility made him a hero, not just in uniform but in life. As we reflect on his remarkable journey, let us remember that his greatest victory was not on the battlefield but in the hearts of those he served. If you have been moved by General Bipin Rawat's story, share your thoughts in the comments. What part of his legacy do you find most inspiring? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Insightrove for more powerful stories of individuals who have touched the world through their humanity and courage.